The hum of the city was a distant memory for Mia Caldwell, who had traded the neon-lit chaos of urban life for the quiet solitude of Willow Creek, a small coastal town in Oregon. The salty air and the rhythmic crash of waves against the cliffs was supposed to be her sanctuary, a place to rebuild after a messy divorce that had left her emotionally raw. Mia ran a modest blog called Tides of Tranquility, where she shared photos of the coastline, snippets of poetry, and musings about finding peace in nature. It wasn't a viral sensation, but it had a loyal following, mostly locals and a few wanderers who stumbled across her posts and stayed for the serene aesthetic. Mia had always found comfort in the routine of her blog. She'd wake early, hike along the cliffs with her camera, capture the sunrise glinting off the Pacific, and post a photo with a caption about resilience or hope. The comments were usually kind, a mix of heart emojis and encouragements like "keep shining" or "this makes my morning." But one gray morning in October, as fog draped the town like a heavy curtain, a new comment appeared under her latest post. A photo of a lone driftwood log against a stormy sea. "Beautiful shot, Mia. The ocean hides so much, doesn't it? Just like you." The comment was from an account called Echo Waves, with no profile picture, no posts, and a bio that read only, "Listening to the tides." At first, Mia thought nothing of it. The internet was full of cryptic users, and she'd seen her share of odd comments. She replied with a simple thanks and moved on, sipping her coffee as she edited another photo. But something about the comment lingered, like a splinter under her skin. "Just like you." What did that mean? Over the next few days, Echo Waves became a constant presence. Every photo Mia posted, every story she shared, a quick video of the waves, or a shot of her sketching by the shore. Echo Waves was the first to view it. Morning, noon, or midnight, it didn't matter. The account was always there, lurking silently. Mia tried to shrug it off. It was just a fan, she told herself. Someone who liked her work. But the unease grew, a quiet hum in the back of her mind. One evening, as she sat in her small cottage with the windows rattling from the coastal wind, her phone buzzed with a direct message. It was from Echo Waves. "You're so dedicated to your art, Mia. I admire that. Do you ever feel alone out there, with just the ocean for company?" The message was polite, almost too polite, but it sent a shiver down her spine. She stared at the screen, her thumb hovering over the keyboard. Should she respond? Ignore it? She typed a quick, "Thanks, I love the solitude," and hit send before she could overthink it. That was her first mistake. The messages came slowly at first, like drops of rain before a storm. Echo Waves would comment on her posts, always with an air of familiarity that made Mia's stomach twist. "You looked peaceful by the cliffs today. That scarf suits you. Your sketches are so raw, like you're pouring your soul onto the page." The comments were innocuous enough, but they were too specific, too personal. Mia hadn't posted about wearing a scarf or sketching by the cliffs. She hadn't shared those moments with anyone. She mentioned it to her friend Tara, who ran the local bookstore, and was one of the few people Mia had grown close to in Willow Creek. They were sitting in the bookstore's cozy back room, surrounded by stacks of paperbacks and the smell of old pages. "You're overreacting," Tara said, stirring her tea. "It's probably just some lonely guy who's got a crush on your blog. Block him and move on." Mia forced a smile, but the unease didn't fade. "Maybe," she said, though she didn't believe it. That night, she scrolled through Echo Waves' profile again. Still no posts, no followers, no trace of a real person. She blocked the account, hoping that would end it. It didn't. The next morning, a new message arrived from a different account. Tide Watcher 23. Blocking me won't make me go away, Mia. I see you. Her heart pounded as she read it, her coffee growing cold on the counter. She blocked that account too, but another appeared the next day. Sea Whisper 7. You can't hide from the tide. Each new account was a variation on the same theme, as if the ocean itself was taunting her. Mia started to notice things outside her phone. Footprints in the sand near her cottage, too large to be hers, appearing after a storm. A strange car parked at the end of her street, idling for too long before driving away. The feeling of being watched, even when she was alone on the cliffs. She began to vary her routine, avoiding her usual hiking spots, posting less frequently. But the messages kept coming, each one more invasive than the last. You didn't hike today. Are you okay? That tea you drank last night looked good. What kind was it? I know you're scared, Mia. You don't have to be. She stopped sleeping. Every creak of the cottage, every gust of wind felt like a threat. She bought a security camera and installed it outside her door, but the grainy footage showed nothing, just shadows and the endless movement of the trees. She called the local police, but they were dismissive. It's just social media, the officer said, scratching his head. Block them and stay offline for a while. Mia wanted to scream. This wasn't just social media. This was her life. One foggy evening, as Mia walked home from the bookstore, her phone buzzed with a new message. You shouldn't walk alone at night, Mia. The cliffs are dangerous. She froze, her breath catching in her throat. She was on a narrow path that wound along the edge of the cliffs, the ocean roaring below. She hadn't told anyone where she was going. She hadn't posted about it. She spun around, scanning the darkness, but saw nothing but fog and the faint glow of a distant lighthouse. Her legs trembled as she hurried home, locking the door behind her. She checked the security camera footage, but it was blank. The camera had been offline for hours. She unplugged her Wi-Fi, turned off her phone, and sat in the dark, listening to the waves crash against the shore. The sound, once comforting, now felt like a warning. The next morning, she found a note slipped under her door. It was written in neat, deliberate handwriting. I'm closer than you think. No signature, no name. Just those 5 words, chilling in their simplicity. Mia's hands shook as she called Tara, who arrived within minutes, her face pale as she read the note. This isn't a joke anymore, Tara said, her voice tight. You need to get out of here. Stay with me until we figure this out. Mia nodded, too scared to argue. She packed a bag and moved to Tara's apartment above the bookstore. But even there, the messages didn't stop. Tide Watcher 23 became Ocean Eyes 15, then Wave Caller 9. Each account sent photos now, blurry images of the cliffs, the bookstore, Mia's cottage from a distance. One photo showed her standing on her porch, unaware she was being watched. The timestamp was from 2 days ago. She went back to the police, this time with the note and the photos. They took her seriously now, but their investigation hit dead ends. The accounts were untraceable, created with burner emails and VPNs. The note had no fingerprints, no DNA. Whoever was behind this knew how to cover their tracks. Weeks passed, and Mia became a shadow of herself. She stopped blogging, stopped hiking, stopped leaving Tara's apartment unless she had to. The ocean, once her muse, now felt like a vast, unfeeling void that hid her stalker in its depths. She started noticing patterns in the messages, references to the tides, the moon, the rhythm of the sea. It was as if her stalkers saw themselves as part of the ocean, inevitable and unstoppable. One night, as she sat in Tara's living room, her phone buzzed with a new message. It was a video sent from Moontide 47. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The footage was shaky, filmed from a distance, but it showed her walking along the cliffs a week earlier. The camera zoomed in on her face, oblivious to the danger. A voice, distorted and low, whispered over the video, "You can't run from the tide, Mia." She dropped the phone, her heart racing. Tara grabbed it, watched the video, and immediately called the police. They set up patrols around the bookstore and Mia's cottage, but the messages kept coming. "You're not safe anywhere. I'm always watching. The ocean knows your secrets." Mia began to suspect everyone. The barista at the coffee shop who smiled too long. The old man who walked his dog by the cliffs every morning. Even Tara, who had been nothing but supportive, started to feel like a stranger. Paranoia consumed her, eroding her sense of reality. Was her stalker one person? Multiple people? Or was it all in her head? One stormy night, as thunder rumbled over Willow Creek, Mia decided she couldn't live like this anymore. She couldn't keep running, couldn't keep hiding. She needed answers. Against Tara's protest, she reactivated her blog and posted a single photo, a close-up of the ocean, dark and turbulent, with the caption, "I'm not afraid anymore. Show yourself." The response was immediate. A new account, Tidebringer88, sent a message. "Meet me at the old lighthouse. Midnight. Come alone." Mia's heart pounded. The lighthouse was a crumbling relic at the edge of town, abandoned for decades. It was isolated, dangerous, and the perfect place for a trap. But it was also her chance to end this. She told Tara her plan, refusing to be dissuaded. "If I don't go, this will never stop," Mia said, her voice steady for the first time in weeks. Tara insisted on calling the police, but Mia begged her to wait. "If they show up, he'll disappear again. I need to know who he is." At 11:30 p.m., Mia drove to the lighthouse, her camera in her bag as a pretext for being there. The storm raged outside, rain lashing her windshield. The lighthouse loomed ahead, its silhouette stark against the lightning. She parked and stepped out, the wind tearing at her jacket. The door to the lighthouse was ajar, creaking in the wind. Inside, the air was damp and heavy with the smell of rust and decay. Mia's flashlight beam danced across the walls, revealing graffiti and broken glass. She climbed the spiral staircase, her footsteps echoing in the silence. At the top, in the lantern room, she found him. He was younger than she'd expected, maybe in his late 20s, with dark hair and a nervous energy that made him seem more like a cornered animal than a predator. He was holding a phone, its screen glowing in the dark. "You came," he said, his voice soft but unsteady. "I knew you would." "Who are you?" Mia demanded, her voice shaking but firm. "Why are you doing this?" His name was Ethan, he said. He'd grown up in Willow Creek, a loner who spent his days wandering the cliffs, taking photos of the ocean. He'd found Mia's blog by chance and became obsessed. "You understood the sea," he said, his eyes glinting in the flashlight's beam. "You saw its beauty, its darkness. I felt like you were speaking to me." Mia's stomach churned. "So you stalked me? You sent those messages, those photos?" Ethan's face twisted with guilt, but he didn't deny it. "I just wanted to be close to you. I didn't mean to scare you." "You followed me," Mia said, her voice rising. "You broke into my life. You made me feel like I was losing my mind." "I'm sorry," he whispered, stepping closer. Mia backed away, her hand tightening around the pepper spray in her pocket. I love you, Mia." The words hit her like a wave. This wasn't love. This was obsession. A twisted need to possess her. She realized then that Ethan wasn't just a stalker. He was dangerous, unhinged by his fixation. She had to get out. "I'm leaving," she said, turning toward the stairs. But Ethan moved faster, blocking her path. His eyes were wild now, his voice desperate. "You can't leave. Not yet." Panic surged through her. She sprayed the pepper spray, catching him in the face. He screamed, clutching his eyes, and Mia bolted down the stairs, her heart pounding. She didn't stop running until she reached her car, locking the doors and speeding back to town. The police arrested Ethan that night, finding him still at the lighthouse, disoriented and in pain. He confessed to everything: the messages, the photos, the note under her door. He'd been watching her for months, using fake accounts to stay anonymous. He'd hacked her security camera, tracked her movements, even followed her on the cliffs. His obsession had started as admiration, but had spiraled into something dark and uncontrollable. Mia moved away from Willow Creek a month later, settling in a small mountain town far from the ocean. She deleted her blog, her social media, everything that tied her to her old life. But the fear lingered, a shadow that followed her wherever she went. Every buzz of her phone, every knock at her door made her heart race. She knew Ethan was gone, locked away, but the feeling of being watched never fully faded. Sometimes, late at night, she'd wake from nightmares of the ocean, its waves whispering her name. She'd check her phone, half expecting a message from a new account, a new name. Tidebringer 88 was gone, but the internet was vast, and the shadows it hid were endless. If this story sent a chill down your spine, share it with someone who needs a reminder to stay cautious online. The scariest things aren't always in the shadows. They're often behind the screen.